finished the story.
It's time. It's time for the main event. Thank you for joining us again. If you want, we're going to dive through a lot of stuff today. We've got another agenda, and obviously Dynasty at the weekend. Hang around. We're going to break down Dynasty, have a good chat about it. Returns, bolts, finishes, all the jazz, super kick parties, whatever. But most important thing of the day, how are we doing, fellas?
Oh, good.
All right.
Oh, good.
All right. We are on full-on countdown mode. As I know,
Yeah, 12 days till WrestleMania.
Yep, exactly. I can't wait.
Can't wait.
It's gonna be sick.
Oh, we're talking about you going to Japan? I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's WrestleMania next weekend.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I can't wait for WrestleMania. Some fantastic matches announced last night on Raw. Matt's favorite. We'll get into that in a bit, but I can see Matt's face is already buzzing about them announcements. But yeah,
One of them,
I'm doing okay.
One of them, Matt. Same shit, different day, mate. All good, me though. No, nothing to complain about this week, for once. Although Pep's head's gone, but that's another story. We'll talk about that at a different time. Can't beat a shit Man United team, but hey, we move.
Yeah. But no, cool, guys. I'm all sweet. All good. Apart from being pretty much blind in one eye, but hey ho, we move.
Fired on his pillow.
Yeah.
Wait till WrestleMania weekend.
Way.
Yeah, if you want to see the fun of the WrestleMania, don't forget to join us. We
Yeah.
will probably be live on YouTube and TikTok for WrestleMania. There'll be our points. But yes, I'm all good. Let's
Good,
dive
mate.
into this week's video. Let's not keep the people waiting. We have Matt's news. Have you got any news other than what's on the agenda for us, Matt, today?
It all leads into each one, so that's why I've not really.
No worries then. Well,
there's a lot of Dynasty stuff and the backlash from Dynasty because people are not happy with Dynasty and the way it went down. There was something on Raw. I woke up, so I fell asleep during Raw last night because we had a 90-hour pay-per-view called Dynasty with a 50 million match card. And I woke up to a weird voice on commentary. And I asked in the chat 8 times. My messages weren't going through to Ted apparently, but I asked in the chat 8 times, who the fuck is that on commentary? Because the voice is well annoying. It's worse than Joe's.
It was the guy that's going to be running the
roast
of WWE WrestleMania.
Yeah. Apparently took a dig at Big E's neck injury.
Yeah, he did. I'm very upset.
He, after the War Raiders, obviously, after what happened with the New Day and the War Raiders, he made a jab that got people talking and pretty annoyed with him. He said the only thing stiffer than Michael Cole is Big E's neck. On the Raw recap, Big E addressed it and said, at my big age of 39, people say what they want about you, have nothing to do with me. That's not my business. Say what you want. He was given a mic. He's given an opportunity. People will feel the way they do. I don't think there was no need for that. I mean, it's nothing major. It's nothing like it's going to break the internet like something Swerve would say. We'll get into that later.
But it's. I think there's a line with things you say, especially if you're a guest in that business and taking a dig at somebody's career pretty much being over. That's how I see that.
I think he's picked a wrong week. For me, it was the wrong week for it.
The wrong person. It's the wrong person. You can have a dig at somebody else's injury, like a bum knee or whatever, but Big E's quite well liked.
Yeah,
and
he is.
Taking a dig at a neck injury that's going to potentially end his career.
After what's happened just with Owens as well.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like,
it's a sensitive subject, injuries, and he's not part of the company. If it was, I don't know, Drew McIntyre cutting a promo, or somebody going against the New Day, and the New Day with face, and they cut a heel like the best member's not here because he can't take a bump on his neck or something. That's a different thing.
Yeah, agreed. Well, staying on Big E, Kofi is obviously on the anniversary of WrestleMania 35. Has put up a video of him winning the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 35. and has edited out Big E.
Keep Fabi alive, as you used to
Keep
call it.
Fabi.
Big E again addressed this on the podcast, Sam Roberts and Megan Morant's podcast, and so look, I know it's been their duty to erase me from their history, and that again is their God-given right to do as they choose, but people know I was there. There was no New Day without Big E.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
100%.
Big E.
He didn't hold back as he brought down what he sees as a drop-off of the New Day's success since his absence. He said, if you look at the trajectory of the New Day since I've been gone, let's count the number of titles. It's a little lacking. Let's count the number of main events. Also been lacking. When we talk about the rise of Kofi Mania and that gauntlet tag match we had where the Usos come out and forfeit. If you try to erase me, tell me how that happened. Was it a
Kofi Mania
Woods
doesn't
handicap
exist
match?
without him.
Yeah.
He says, I know my place in history. I'm very comfortable with what I've done in my career, and all the rest is just discourse. It's a shame that we're never going to see him again, isn't it?
Never say never.
No, I don't.
It would have been this year. It would have been this year.
It would make sense to do it this year for WrestleMania.
Well, I mean, just for like WrestleMania, they look like they're going to get a tag match at WrestleMania. The return.
I don't think so, mate. I think he's done.
Stop it.
No,
I'm already right. You would see me on Sunday when I processed what you told me on Sunday about Kev. Just leave me alone.
We are going to get to Kevin Owens very soon. Yeah, I mean, there's other stuff like little things like Gunther's took a shot at Undertaker, saying he has more experience than Undertaker ever did during LFG, and he also didn't understand why his one of his rookies, if you want to call him that, she's Olympic. I don't know when I forgot her name. What's her name?
Mariah. No, it's fucking
Mariah May.
it's definitely not.
The Olympic
not
gold
that.
medalist that's on Undertaker's team. When he asked about her, he didn't understand how she didn't know who she was when she's got the Undertaker as her
mentor.
As a mentor, and Taker was a little took back by it, saying, "Do you know who I am?" Kind of thing.
Tyra Maysteele, that's the one.
There you go. That's who it is. But yeah, no, LFG is really good. I say really good. It's okay. I still don't understand the Brandon Cutler or whatever his name is, being on the show when he's on NXT now in a story.
Yeah,
don't get it.
But I don't know if you've seen the preview for this week.
Yeah,
that could be answered. But yeah, to be fair, but we did on the episode that we've watched this week. Elijah Holyfield made his debut, and he looked pretty good. He did look pretty good.
Yeah, he did. To be fair to him,
until he spoke.
My issue with that now is, like you say, now you've told. I've watched bits of it with you guys when I've been able to drop in and out, and obviously you told me this guy's actually on NXT already. It makes it a reality TV program for me now.
Yeah,
it's not a competition; it's a reality scripted TV program.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes a bit of the magic away from it for me.
Agreed.
Because I like the idea of that these people are fighting for a contract, and we already know one of them's in NXT. He's got a contract, so at some point in LFG, that's going to play out, so you know why. He should never have made his NXT debut until that episode aired.
Yeah, agreed. I totally agree with you. I am live for NXT tonight, so come join me for NXT.
Well, he's going to be making his debut, isn't he?
In the
his
ring,
first match, isn't it? Yeah.
John, look at me. You're a man that's wondering why The Rock if The Rock's going to be at WrestleMania. It's fine, mate. I've got the answer for you. Hold on to your seats. Hold on to your hat. I can tell. Yeah, you look it, mate. You look like you're about to ask, "Where's The Rock at WrestleMania?"
No,
John. Ask me the question.
Thought in my head.
John, ask me the question. What's The Rock doing for WrestleMania?
He's filming Moana 3.
What is the most electrifying man in sports entertainment doing for WrestleMania?
Probably nothing. Because at this moment in time, WWE have not got a plan to have The Rock at WrestleMania.
How have you not got a plan? He's fucking part of a storyline.
So, and this is, again, we always say this is all from the likes of Sean Ross Sapp and Dave Meltzer and people, so take what you want. And WWE aren't like AEW, they keep things close to the chest, whereas AEW go and tell Dave what's going on so he can get his clicks. Dave has said, we're 2 weeks away and there's still nothing on Dwayne appearing at WrestleMania. He says, Meltzer hinted that there's more to the story than WWE's letting on. He says, it's what you think. Even if you say they're going to all deny it, even if the company will deny it. So it's Triple H and Nick Khan and whoever else is tried to ask, keeping things close to the chest because they want surprises for WrestleMania, obviously. It's the biggest event of the year.
I appreciate that. I appreciate surprises because it is getting too telegraphed.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had a couple of Dynasty, which we'll talk about this weekend, which I really enjoyed. Both of them. In the 0 hour, one of them annoyed. That's anything annoyed me. One of them 0 hour, but hey. But yeah, I prefer not knowing. I'm not like you guys. I don't read the dirt sheets or anything like that because I like the unknown when I'm watching events. So I stay way out of it. But look, the Soul Man, Dwayne, The Rock Johnson, he'll be at Mania. He's got to be.
After this whole story, it's got to be. And Travis Scott.
Travis Scott needs his receipt. That guy probably is running like a bitch right now.
Apparently, a few people backstage are happy, and he's over with quite a few people backstage.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
Yeah, but he still needs a receipt from Cody.
So last night on Raw, it was made official. Io Sky will defend her World Heavyweight Championship against Rhea Ripley. And Bianca Belair, who wore the weirdest outfit in the world. However, there was an incident. Io Sky hit a springboard. This was after a bit of an argument, and Rhea pushed Io away. So Io got onto the apron. She hit a springboard drop kick on Rhea. At the time, Shawn Sapp was like, "Oh my God, is Rhea going to make it to this match?" Broken nose, fractured orbital, whatever it may be.
She looked like she broke her nose.
Thankfully, the worst case scenario didn't come true. Shawn Sapp said the people I spoke to backstage seemed alright, in good spirits, all that good stuff. It was definitely one of those moments where a lot of people went, "Oh shit, is she okay?" But she's a tough woman. So no injury, she's fine. It's still a triple threat match going into WrestleMania.
Good.
I'm not bored, by the way. I've just turned up on PlayStation, just so you don't think you've heard the beep.
Again.
After the 90
didn't even start and you turned it on.
Shit.
Ted, look at me. You're a man that's wondering if there's going to be any more announcements for the Hall of Fame, aren't you? I know you are. I can see it in you.
I asked this earlier. I did ask this earlier.
Oh,
you said wait. You've kept me on bated breath.
See? Well, knife edge. Yeah, no. That's it. The Hall of Fame this year is Michelle McCool, The Natural Disasters, Lex Luger, and headliner Triple H. Apparently, Triple H wanted to keep it low and not loads of people going in after the last preview of years. But it's either that or it's the last preview of years are going on for 4 hours for a Hall of Fame.
I know we've got Triple H going in. I know Michelle McCool, Lex Luger, Natural Disasters, and I'm not even talking about the match. Get that fucking match. That's pointless. I know Triple H is the headliner. For me, it's missing. It's missing something for me.
What, like?
I know. Like I said, I know it's Triple H as the headliner, but the last there's usually, I don't know. Triple H is not giving me headliner vibes.
How does Triple H not give you headliner?
I don't know. So I'm just thinking like the last couple of years, we had the whole big thing with Taker where he had an hour and a half to himself for all this gear in the ring and stuff. And it was I want to hear what Taker says. Don't get me wrong, I want to hear what Trips has got to say. I just feel like it's missing a little bit of a sparkle. Do you know what? I'm focusing on Triple H. It might be the other guys. I just feel...
Well, let's focus on the other guys. So we've got the Natural Disasters. Now, I can say, hand on heart, I've never sat there and gone, I need to watch a Natural Disaster match. I haven't.
No.
Bar ETC. I don't think anyone has.
Was it one of them Shotmaster that fell through the fucking thing?
Yes,
as well?
he was. Yes.
Now, if that was Demolition, and on heart, I can't go back and say I'll go and watch Demolition, but they've given more They were at one point they were the longest tag team champions in history before the New Day took it off him.
Yeah.
So I feel like that. So the tag team for me, personally for me, is not something I would want to see. Women, Michelle McCool, I get it. I feel like China should have gone in first, but obviously issues with China. There's also Mickey James that should have gone in before her, and Victoria.
I always forget that Mickey James isn't in there.
Yeah,
Like, I forget.
I know. And with the TNA partnership, you could easily bring in TNA and what she's done for TNA.
Yep.
Lex Luger, I've never been a Lex Luger fan. I don't.
So
get him.
for me, Lex deserves to be in. I think Lex should have been in there years ago. But
no, I agree he deserves to be in, but I've never been a fan. So when I look at the class, the only thing I'm excited for that is Triple H.
I think as well. I think because we've had the top 5 on it, and we've looked into it, and we had a list of people that we wanted to go in there. I think that's where I'm at now with the Hall of Fame. There's so many people, like you've just named a handful off the top of your head there, that deserve to be in there before who we're getting in there. Yeah. And there's people that need the props, and I'll pick one off the top of my head, and he was on my list. Crash Holly. It's what he did for the hardcore. We need to get over this whole taboo. If they've done shit outside the ring, unfortunately, that shit happens.
It's not only that though, is it? It's the family. Because he's passed away. You've got to get the family to agree to it, and if the family don't agree to it, you can't put him in. Yeah,
no, I get that side of things, but if obviously let's say if they all agree with it, then they need to stop worrying about what people are gonna find online about these people, because if you look hard enough, they're gonna find stuff about your current roster, and you're not bothered about that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just when you look at it as a whole, there's a lot of wrestlers look at Benoit.
China's the biggest one for me.
Benoit's never going to win. Owen Hart's never going to go in because of what's her name?
Martha.
She's fucking got issues left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
Even though this has got nothing to do with it. China deserves to go in.
China's the biggest one for me. China's the one that deserves to go in every year. Every year without fail. And it's not coming off. And you think it's like, all right, let's get over it now.
But but actually, what we'll do is stop this discussion and say go and watch our top 5 of people we think that should be in the Hall of Fame to get our thoughts and feelings on this. And say because we are taking views away from that, go and have a look at that, and you'll be able to see that.
I like it. Give them that one.
Okay, I'll stop talking about what I wanted to say
No,
then.
go. Say it. Go.
Fuck yous. A comedian was in the audience last night that apparently people
Bert Chrysler, yeah.
Was it Bert? Oh,
Bert did an amazing promo with Otis. It were great. So he's been back. He were been backstage. He had been interviewed, and he were like, and Gable and American Made came up and went, "Oh, I'm really happy that you come back to see us." And he's like, "I've not come to see you, and I've come to see this man." And then Otis came on screen, downed a beer with him, ripped the shirts off together, and just living the best life. It was amazing. I loved it. I were about it.
There you go. Happy days. Don't know who he is.
So one more thing from Raw last night. I don't know if you're going to bring this up. Somebody else has now got a favour. Owed him.
Yes, he has.
Who?
Seth Rollins has a favour from Paul Heyman now.
Paul Heyman owes.
No, that's how Raw signed off last night.
Yeah, I read the results.
I not watched it. I not watched the end bit. I fell asleep.
I read the results as I always do. If I don't watch it, and yeah, the only thing that I memorised from the notes for this was now Paul Heyman owes Seth Rollins a favour.
So to give everyone context, he beat Seth had beat CM Punk down. He had Paul ready for a stomp, and he ran up to Paul, looked like he was going to deliver the stomp on Paul, and then just stomped next to his head. And he went, "Now you owe me a favour. Let's say for not taking you out." So the only person he doesn't owe a favour to is the tribal chief.
He fucking does. He gets him relevant.
Yeah.
Would Triple H play what everybody has been playing with online?
Becky Lynch returning.
No.
Oh.
The wise man and the architect
becomes.
I think if it's going to be anything, he'll let's make CM Punk win. Because CM Punk's winning the main event. We know that. It's to get his main event
Is
win.
he?
Yeah, it's to get his main event win. That's why he's been put into the main event. If
So
CM Punk
much-
doesn't win that, I will run naked on stream.
You're not
Because
fucking
he's
doing that
going
at
to
my
win
house.
that. There is no one
Well,
else
kick
winning
him
that
out of your
main
house
event.
and make him do it down the street.
I'll just get into my car and fucking go. There's no one else winning that main event other than Punk. It was the whole reason to get that into the main event.
I get that. And I still think he will win, but I think they'll be the favourite. I do think. I don't want it at the same point, but I do think we're going to see an alignment between the Wiseman and the Architect.
I don't.
It doesn't need Paul. It's a waste of Paul going with Seth.
Yeah,
I don't see why they
Seth
would.
didn't talk.
I don't see it, but it's just a whole messing with Roman thing, and it created that storyline.
Yeah, that bit there, and only in my favour, because now Roman's going to go, well, why have you agreed that with kind of thing. I just don't actually see it being anything. I think that's just to get Roman's head.
Yeah, that's
because
it.
Now Roman's head's gone, and he's took out CM Punk. Seth thinks this is plain sailing for me now in the main event.
Yeah, exactly.
He was still, if it's an alignment and it is to mess with Roman more or whatever, I don't know. But it's Seth doesn't need it. If you're going to align Paul Heyman with somebody new over Roman, please pick somebody that needs someone to be their voice.
Yeah, very Phoenix.
Braun Breaker.
You know,
Braun doesn't need him.
Braun doesn't need him.
No.
You need to look at someone that doesn't speak good English or is shit on the mic.
Yeah. If you're ever going to do the Lucha Bros together, Paul Heyman's the manager.
Yeah.
It'd be a weird fucking combination, but yeah.
But yeah, or you're going to bring somebody who's got a bit of an edge to them, like a hardcore sort of style, ECW style wrestler sort of feel for him. That's who you put with Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
I fucking got it. I've got it. He's not doing anything right now, apart from getting killed by Braun Breaker on a weekly. Carlito is the voice piece.
Should we chuck him out now, or should we just...
Why did you have to bring Carlito up, mate?
Shall we just...
I'm trying to put it to the back of my mind. You brought him up.
You do know in 2 weeks is your evaluation, don't you?
Okay. Well, to be fair, that spear that he hit on Carlito last night was one of the best spears I've seen.
Mint, mate.
He absolutely...
Did he stab John Cena? Have we worked? Has it been come out yet or what?
Yeah, Carlito said.
I'm going to have to get on ChatGPT.
Right. It's going to be a lot of talk, so I'm going to move on to AEW a bit. I did put Drew's interview with Joe Willer, however, I don't think there's anything major come from that.
I've not watched it, so I can't say anything on it.
So, it's basically, he hates CM Punk. He's given some advice to Joe Willer on how to start his wrestling career, because Joe Willer wants to wrestle.
I think he'd be very good.
I've seen him work with Paul Heyman on him before. Do stuff with Paul Heyman. Yeah.
He's give shit to Logan Paul. That was basically it. And he got asked about wrestling, and Theo Baker looked like he was like actually taking it in for once and not talking shit. So I'm going to move on to AEW because there's a lot of AEW we need to cover.
Before we move on to AEW, cover the AEW because we can go right through.
Oh yeah, actually no. Ted wanted to speak something about Mickey James on LFG, sorry. And then we'll talk about what you want to speak about, then we'll talk about AEW.
Yeah, no, so mine's on the agenda. Because we're on WWE, so we might as well cover that one.
Oh
now.
Shit, we're not even done Kevin Owens. Yeah.
That's what I mean. So we'll cover we'll do Mickey James, Kevin Owens.
Do Mickey James, Kevin Owens, AEW.
Then hit AEW.
Yeah, cool. Right, go for it, Ted.
So, I don't know how you guys feel. So, we're watching LFG at the weekend, and Mickey James made a comment about how female wrestlers don't... So, there's a girl called Xena in it who... She's very ditzy, she's blonde, and she came out...
fucking ditzy, to be fair.
That's the character she portrays. So, they asked her to be a bit more serious, so she changed her attire, and it was... I didn't think it was too bad. It was very like sort of Rhea Ripley sort of esque attire.
I don't think it was bad.
So she has a match. Mickey James. After the match, what they do is the legends then critique the match and give their thoughts. So it cut to Mickey James. Mickey James said that female wrestlers. The one thing that I'm not happy with is your attire, because we have fought as female wrestlers to say that we don't have to wrestle in lingerie anymore. It's essentially the gist of the line. That's not word for word. That's the sort of
Yeah.
the general consensus, the general vibe of what she said. So, for me, if you look at the biggest wrestlers that are on the roster right now, female-wise, Rhea Ripley, Tiff Stratton, as an
Bianca.
example, Bianca. Bianca not so much. She wrestles in normal sort of long pants generally, but Rhea and Tiff wrestle in very skimpy outfits. I know they don't have to wear them, but the majority of the big female wrestlers do wear them sort of outfits. So I don't understand the point of putting down someone that's new to the business, who's a rookie, and giving a bad credit. I don't get the point. It's that's to bring up an agenda that isn't there. It's not that they're being forced to wear these things. The women are choosing to wear these things.
So, absolutely, the women. A lot of the women pick and design their own gear. That's their choice. They want to look at Rhea. She wears that stuff. She plays up with that stuff in live events. Bianca makes her own gear. Tiffy, I think Tiffy does need a sort of gear out because we've had quite a few wardrobe malfunctions from Tiffy in recent weeks. But at the same point, that's Tiffy's choice. I'm on the lines, mate, of if they are happy to wear that, they're not forced to wear that. That's it. The only thing I will cast back is a few months back you had sort of same conversation about when Mina Shawara debuted in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and you were a bit like, well, she's a bit underdressed there. So it's I think it's a subjectable thing in it. It's whether what way you see it and who you see it on. I have no issue on it. At the end of the day, women are allowed to wear whatever they want.
that's what I mean. They're not forced into it. It was just that's what sort of for me, Mickey James was trying to put across is that they broke this mold of this is what you have to wear.
It's the whole objectifying the person. But what and this is why I'm like so for them being themselves and doing well. What's the difference between Rhea Ripley wearing what she wears and I think who wears trunks though?
Orton wears
Orton coming out in his trunks, ripped, oiled up. So it's the objective. It's the sexualization of the object. That's basically what she's trying to say. They're thought not to be sexual objects with respect to wrestlers. I get that, but at the same point, the men still come out in trunks and oil themselves up, and it's fortunate. It's choice. It's choice, and it's only fit. If they want to wear their underwear, that's fine. I would still like Rhea Ripley if she came out in a boiler suit because she's a good wrestler.
Yes, she is. Yes, she
I
is.
think that's the important thing. I think Mickey James needs to forget the times have changed. She was coming through when it was still sort of pillow fights and brown panties matches and stuff like that. It was coming towards the end of that era, but it was the Divas era.
Yeah, it was.
These women nowadays, these are not women that have got to worry about an overlord telling them what they've got to do and colour their hair and do whatever. These are independent women who would kick the fuck out of most of the men in the roster if they went one-on-one. I know Rhea would anyway.
Yeah.
And these are not your Tori Wilsons and your Stacey Keeblers. These are strong-minded, independent women that have changed the business for good. And I can't wait for the Evolution pay-per-view. It's been too long for them to have their own pay-per-view again.
Agreed.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. It's going to be sick.
Agreed.
And,
go on.
And then now we move on to probably the saddest topic.
Well, I was going to put my 2 cents in.
Right, okay.
I'm with John. It's their choice. I fucking just let them do what they want to do at the end of the day. I love Mickey. I really do. Do you know what I mean? If Tiff wants to wear them outfits, if Rhea wants to wear the outfits, Bianca, Chelsea Green, trying to think off the top of my head, anyone else, Io Sky, I don't know. But like, if they want to wear these things, let them wear them. There's no issue. I know there's issues with the perverts that are around, and the people that are fucking following him. But the actual wrestling fans that are there to watch women's wrestling, to watch, for instance, WrestleMania, to watch the triple threat match, to watch Charlotte and Tiff, will watch the match rather than what gear they're wearing. The only reason
exactly.
Proper wrestling fans will look at the gear is to go into 2K and make it and update the game, kind of thing. So yeah, it's a bunch of bollocks. Personally, perverts will love it. Wrestling fans will love it because we get to see. We won't even love it because we don't even care. We'll just watch the wrestling. Kevin Owens. The news broke out early Friday that Kevin Owens potentially is injured and will miss WrestleMania. No one obviously believed it and thought it was just dirt sheets. Turns out it's true. Kevin Owens has a neck injury that could put him out from. There's different ranges, but from the one I've probably seen a lot is 2 to 5 years. Now, I know John's a little bit taken back when I said that on Sunday when we were watching Dynasty, so I'm going to get John's thoughts on Ted's in a minute. Obviously, he had a match at WrestleMania between him and Randy Orton, where Randy Orton was going to kick him in the head. That was what it was all leading up to for the punt. Obviously, that's changed. The question I was gonna ask is, what does Orton do at WrestleMania? But we discussed that in Dynasty. John thinks it's going to be Nick Aldis. Me and Ted think it's going to be Aleister Black. It's going to be like a Seth Rollins kind of thing where you'll find out your opponent at WrestleMania, and it'll be my choice, and it'll be Aleister Black returning to WWE. Or Miro. I hope it's Aleister Black though.
Please don't be fucking Miro. I forgot all about that.
Imagine if it's Rusev. Rusev Machka comes out in a tank. Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
One of the most underappreciated wrestlers WWE's had, for me. Will put in a shift no matter what storyline he does. Whether it's cutting his hair, putting a suit on, being the United States champion, or whether it's being the prize fighter, or whether it's just being annoyed by people backstage and nothing makes sense. Kevin Owens is the perfect guy you want in a company. And it's really sad to think that potentially we won't see Kevin Owens back in a wrestling ring. Obviously, he could do, and he could make a full recovery and he wrestles again. But I think his matches will dramatically change when he comes back. If he comes back. Thoughts, boys?
I'll give my thoughts. I just think it's very sad times, mate. Like, I love Kevin Owens. I've got massive respect for him. I say the way he's come through the NXT all the way through the main roster. I feel he's been very underutilized these last few years. He has had some good matches, and Kevin Owens will give you that. If you want a guarantee, you're going through Kevin Owens in a match. They say he will pull out a great match out of most people.
Main event in WrestleMania.
Yeah. See, it's just... I saw 8 to 12 months, and I'm kind of... it's the stupid side of me is hoping that those rumours are true, that it's not 2 years to 5 years. But anything with your neck, is going to...
It's not that. If it's a neck injury, and especially what's happened with the likes of Edge and Paige and Bryan and everyone else that has Austin, you take more time and care than that.
Yeah, of course you do.
Do you know what I mean? It's going to be well over a year before we see Kevin Owens. If we see Kevin Owens, it is going to be well over a year.
I don't want him to come back and do like little bits and bobs. I'd rather him just stay away and get better than coming back and doing little bits.
Exactly, and the time range you said then between, what did you say then?
8 to 12 months.
8 to 12 months. For a neck injury, I'm just going to update John. A neck injury for that, for me, after what's happened with Edge, Paige, Bryan, Austin,
yeah,
it's longer than a year before WWE go, okay, we're happy, you carry on.
Well, look at Biggie. Look right now, Biggie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Biggie thinks he can probably go, and WWE probably don't want to take the chance.
Yeah. And I think on his updates, Biggie has said that his doctor has given him the thumbs up As WWE's doctors are like, not yet.
Yeah.
So it's not even like if they get medical cleared by one person, they've got to be medical cleared by multiple people. That's how
Same
serious
with
taking
Paige.
it.
That was same with Paige, though. Do you remember that's why Paige moved? Because she wanted to wrestle, and WWE were never going to let her wrestle, so she had to go to AEW to get the all clear.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's sad, man. It's sad because Kevin Owens is fucking. I put him when we updated our top 5 wrestlers in November. I put him in my top 5. I think he's fucking tremendous. I fucking love Kevin Owens. I think what he brings to your program, storylines, and just him in general loving the business. Like,
Yeah,
it's very rare you get someone that puts that much dedication. Sami Zayn's the same. Sami Zayn is an absolute fucking gem. And obviously depends what happens after WrestleMania. Sami Zayn could go on to win the world title somewhere. But these two men, focusing more on Kevin Owens, should have at least won more WWE titles than the one Universal title that Kevin Owens has held.
yeah, 100%. Defo.
Absolutely. It is a tough pill to swallow. Because obviously I'm living in hope. I touched on before with Big E returning, and I didn't realize on Saturday until you said the severity of the injury. I can't see a WWE without Kevin Owens.
Yeah, me too.
And that's my issue. So Kevin Owens was. So, giving the sort of an idea, me discovering Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, I started watching NXT Black and Gold because of Finn Balor. It's on record, that's on tape, that he made me watch NXT. And I was interested because of the whole hype about Finn Balor and all this. And I'm like, fuck's this guy? But then I'm seeing Kevin Owens powerbomb Sami Zayn on the ring.
Yeah.
And then there was a big fuss made about this Kevin Owens guy down there. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the fuck are these two guys? Kevin Owens is probably. Do you know what? No, Kevin Owens is probably my favorite NXT Black and Gold champion. He gave that title. He made that title prestigious because he's the one that brought it up to face John Cena.
Yeah, he did.
He brought that in the main roster, and when he came to the main roster and he's facing John Cena for the USA title. He didn't give a shit about that USA title because he was the NXT World Champion.
Yeah, that's what he kept saying as well. Is that this means more to me than that does.
His work is categorically the best.
Yeah.
You need a match. You need someone to pull your shit, show out the shit. But Kevin Owens against anybody.
That's what I've just said. The exact same thing.
But Kevin Owens about anybody. Look at the work he's doing now. In the last 12 months, 18 months. It's been absolutely amazing. The heel turn. The going up against anybody that, he fought to turn his back on him. The line of Roman.
The power drivers.
The fucking ladder match with Cody.
Yeah, that could not have done his neck any good doing that.
I think Kevin carried Stone Cold through a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, he did.
So Stone Cold could have a WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
Fucking KO Mania shirts. We're not getting a KO Mania shirt this year.
I know.
And it's just, this one's going to hurt more. I'll be really honest, this one's going to hurt more than Big E's. I'll tell you what, this is going to be nearly on level. If he comes out in that ring with a microphone and announces he can't go again, this is going to be on the levels of Bray Wyatt for me. It's going to hurt a lot. Because he is one of the people I watch WWE for.
Yeah,
I have people that I will watch for, and he is one of them. And it's an absolute travesty that man only held that Universal title, the main roster, barring the Continentals. That man, he should have beat Cody.
Yeah, he should have.
He should have beat Cody.
Yep.
Yeah. Even if it would have just been a one and done.
I would have been happy with him walking the Mania. And the storyline was him and Cena. Because there's history there. Real history.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
Yeah.
And it would have been, you would have been able to put him in the ring and let him go mic to mic with Cena because he can go mic to mic with people. And you're going to get a far more better match I'm not saying it's not going to be a good match. It's going to be a decent match, but you would have got a better, more match because Kevin's willing to be more daring as well. And he can carry John. If John's not quite right or got a bit of ring rust, he can carry John through it.
Yeah, of course he can.
And this one for me is going to hit. So it's not going to be as bad as Bray, but it's not going to be far off if he has to stop wrestling. And it's going to be felt through all brands, all companies. That's going to hit people through every company. Whether you're an AEW fan or a WWE fan, if you've somebody's followed the careers of the Young Bucks and Adam Cole, the Mount Rushmores, Kevin Owens, it's very important to their developmental because he was the one that took them under the ring in ROH.
Yeah, of course it is.
So this one's shit. This one's really shit.
Yep.
But fingers crossed, Kev, if you're watching, speedy recovery. Come back.
Get back soon.
Not
too soon, no.
Power Driver, Orton. Get that match again.
Yeah, man. Definitely. AEW. There's a lot of controversy this weekend. We're going to get into it. First thing I want to point out is tribalism. We spoke about it before, and I'm not talking about wrestling fans. I'm talking about wrestlers.
It's getting bad, the wrestlers now. It is.
It's getting bad, and there's one man that has made it worse over the past 2 weeks when there isn't need to make it an issue.
So there's actually two, and I know the one you're going to say is Swerve.
Yeah.
Somebody else is getting bad for it.
Who's that?
He's getting really bad, and he made a comment this week, and even I thought, mate, you're talking bollocks, and I'm the AEW guy. That's Will Ospreay.
Yes. I wanted to bring
Will
that up
Ospreay
last week, and I forgot.
Getting really bad for it. The Chris Van Vliet interview, I get it. He's in a good place of being at AEW, and he loves the company. But please don't come out and tell me your match against Kyle Fletcher
Was a better cage match than Seth Rollins and CM Punk.
Better cage match. It was a good cage match. I would say on par. But it was not better. It was a good cage match. But yeah, Will's getting bad for it as well as Swerve.
Yeah. No, he isn't. Because he always seems to bring up the whole that once that company go. He also said when I go to that company, they'll all what did he say? Something like it. They'll all jerk off to me or something. So he said something along those lines, and I'm like, I know you're great, and I know you're very good, and I'm not knocking how good Will Ospreay is because he's very good. But there's levels.
But Will's point, and Will, the context for that point is that everyone gives him shit for his style. As the WWE fans give him shit for that.
But it's not just WWE fans though. Of all fans, this is what I mean by tribalism. It's not just WWE fans, because let's face it, I've seen fans especially after this weekend, I've seen fans, AEW fans, going off on Will, on Kyle Fletcher, on Swerve, because of the same shit they do week in, week out. They don't mix it up. I mean, that's not my opinion. That's what they're saying on Twitter, and that's where they all go to. That's where the wrestlers all reply to and put these videos out and these tweets, because they know the wrestling community will get a hold of it and it'll fucking go. Sorry, John, I cut you off then, mate. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, and with Will's comments, I do give a little bit of leeway, because obviously he's ADHD, autistic and stuff like that, so he can get very overexcited and lose his way sometimes. But if that's the case, somebody needs to be there and go, Will, calm down, reel it in. But tribalism, mate. So tribalism within the fans, it doesn't matter if you're a WWE guy, AEW, MLW, whatever. You're always going to have your opinion. If you only watch one brand, you're going to have your own opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
I think for the superstars, and it's social media in general, and this comes from WWE guys, done it in the past, AEW guys, done it in the past, doing it now, whatever. I think focus on your brand, focus on your match. Just don't worry about the other company.
Stick to your lane.
Because it doesn't matter if Seth Rollins has gone out there and had an absolute banger and Swerve comes out, well, I can do better than them. It doesn't matter, Swerve. Go and focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Say it in the ring.
Do it.
Yeah.
Same with Seth coming out.
Can you imagine the Monday Night War with Twitter? Hulk Hogan tweeting. I did this for Vince.
Fucking hell.
Vince tweets back.
Hogan. Good job, Hogan can't tweet. But no,
Triple H with Twitter back in the Attitude Era. Shawn Michaels with fucking Twitter.
Oh, mate, DX would have been great on
Mate,
Twitter.
honestly,
Yeah,
it'd be great for us. But,
Yeah.
like, it's mental. It's mental. And
So I made this comment to Matt the other day. For me, NXT prepares their superstars for this Twitter bullshit. They're a lot more media trained. Tony needs to fucking teach. I know these guys have been around for a while, but he needs to sit them down and go, hang on, you're on a fucking world stage here.
But the thing is, though, you can put people in a room, and the companies do this all over the world, okay? It's not just in the wrestling world. Like, certain people, so I used to work for Tesco's, okay? You had to put on your social medias my views on my own and not of Tesco, because if you put where you work, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Social media, you could put them in a lesson, teach them everything about social media. But at the end of the day, that person whose handle it is, they have control over it. Mm-hmm. So Triple H could sit there and go, you can't post anything, da-da-da-da-da. But then if somebody pisses that person off, they're going to tweet about it. Or they're going to post on Facebook. Or they're going to put an Instagram on a picture with a Saki thing. And I'm not just saying WWE, the AEW guys do it as well. I know Tony Khan's so bad for it himself. Well, he's calmed down a lot recently, I believe.
Tony Khan, at one point, Tony Khan was fucking worse than the wrestlers.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter about putting in the media or anything like that. They have control of these social medias. If they don't want them to post shit and get into arguments with fans and heated debates with fans and not post shit, then they take over the social medias. But that's taking away their freedom.
I know, but
I feel there needs to be fucking penalties though, because this is another thing with AEW.
And we've not even got onto Swerve yet, which I'm going to in a minute.
But at the same point, the thing is it goes back to the old trick. And Eric Bischoff used to do it on the Monday Night Wars where he announced the results. It puts views in. It puts people interested in the product.
I don't think what Swerve's done is going to put any views on anything.
I know Swerve's is different, but what I'm saying is, why? Let's say Will's coming out online and saying I'm better than X, Y, and Z. People who don't watch Will's match, well, I'm going to go and watch and see if he is. It creates controversy, and unfortunately, wrestling is a business that thrives on controversy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Swerve took it to a new level last week, or the week before, saying there's more black representation on AEW than there is on WWE TV. Now, I wanted to speak about this last week. However, when me and Ted, I can't remember what we were doing. We rang each other, and he said, I don't think it's probably best that you name shit. I'm not going to name shit, but I did a count over the last 2 months of black representation on both AEW and WWE. WWE had more black representation than AEW did. And that's not even from Evolve or LFG. That's NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. And if you wanted to go that step further, there's more black champions than there is in AEW.
Mm-hmm. I think this has been something that's floated around. It comes around every now and then.
It does.
It circles around this because I believe there's been people when they've been in WWE that made a comment about the lack of black champions and stuff. I might be wrong here. I believe Booker T has gone on tape about it before.
He has.
And it's a thing that circles around. Unfortunately, don't get me wrong, some of the black wrestlers are some of the most entertaining wrestlers that they've got in both the companies. And they should be equal opportunities and all that. It should be. You're not over. Whether you're black, white, Chinese, whatever. If you're not over, they're not booking you as a champion. They're not booking you on the show.
Yeah, of course.
That's how the business works. If you look at some of the biggest names in wrestling, they're from all different walks of life. You tell me one of the biggest megastars in the world right now, Dwayne Johnson, is a black man. He's a wrestler. But he got himself over. It can't be handed to you because of where you come from. And it's not controversial. It's like, I mean, Tozawa, he had a ninja gimmick.
Fucking hell, yeah, he did. I forgot all about that.
I mean, unfortunately, the wrestling world is, if the crowd likes you, get you over. Jey Uso right now, I know he's what's the word for him now? He's not black. He's
African American.
Samoan. No. I can't think of the name of the word for it. Polynesian. He's Polynesian. Yeah, Samoan. One of the biggest stars in wrestling right now. He's so over. Swerve Strickland. I can't do Swerve. Why are you saying it? You're the most popular wrestler in AEW's brand right now.
This is the thing. This is what's annoying me a little bit, because that we get told by the likes of Kenny Omega or the Bianca Belair and what, to stop tribalism. Okay, well that's fine, but the wrestlers need to do that too. Then Swerve came out and went fuck Booker T, because Booker T fired back at him after his comments saying black representation is just nowhere in WWE that it is in AEW.
Mm.
I get what he's trying to do, and he's trying to speak up. I totally get it, and that's fine. But
it takes me back. Do you speak in the ring?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you speak in the ring?
And
you just mentioned a name there. There's a difference between the quality of wrestler who does their work in the ring, it stays out of social media, and his biggest name. So Kenny Omega, one of the biggest names in wrestling, regarded as one of the best wrestlers at the moment, if not the best wrestler in ring at the moment. Doesn't go on social media. He doesn't tweet about stuff. He stays out of this because he lets his wing work do his talking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Cody Rhodes tweets about his little daughter. That's all he tweets about.
Yeah. Roman doesn't tweet.
Yeah, Roman. Seth, because they let their talking.
So Seth used to be bad for it, and then Seth's learned his lesson.
Seth's grown up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Let's see.
Yeah,
Sim and Ospreay
Orton was bad for it at one point, calling them spot monkeys.
I think Orton, that was when Orton was having
over in AEW.
Orton had his demons about around that time. But even Orton, I've seen an interview of Orton the other week, and they were talking about being the youngest. Where was I watching it? The youngest WWE champion, and he said he was immature. He has had to do a lot of growing up, and he's still doing it.
He's the first one that comes out to say that every single time.
Yeah.
He does it. The trouble
I was watching.
As much as it needs to stop with wrestling fans, and it does.
You stop the wrestlers.
It needs to start with the wrestlers and the owner. Not once have you ever seen Triple H come out and go, or Nick Khan, and gone, "Oh, WWE did this week. Go and watch Raw." And then when someone fires back saying your ratings are shit, he fires back saying, "Well, we beat NXT with Undertaker and John Cena in it." Like,
this is it.
It's silly, it's stupid, and I feel like it takes away. I mean, Dynasty wasn't great anyway. We're going to get into Dynasty in a sec, but it takes away from what people are trying to do.
Do you talk in the ring? Social media is just a horrible fucking thing anyway.
No, I know it is, but with the world we're in, we've got to fucking...
Yeah, but no, do you talk in the ring? If you want to point out something, you can show it in the ring.
Yeah, agreed. Dynasty. I did want to speak about New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW contracts. I'm looking at the time, and we still need to speak about Dynasty. The thing I want to speak about, I mean, I don't know about New Japan, so I'll talk about New Japan contracts. But AEW contracts, they've got Mariah May coming up in summer.
So it's Danhausen, Angelo Parker, Mark Menard, Mariah May are all coming up in between the spring and summer. Then you've got Renee in the fall. Then you've got Jericho in December.
Sorry, just on the AEW before you go to New Japan. Mariah May is being tapped up by WWE, are looking into a Mariah May. apparently they're very keen on bringing her in. And obviously we know what Jericho's said over the past week about wanting to maybe look into WWE now. He probably thinks about the paycheck.
Yeah.
And the Hall of Fame that he didn't want to go in. Danhausen, I think Danhausen will just end his contract.
There isn't
just do his own thing.
There isn't a space. It hurts.
I agree. There isn't.
There isn't a space for Danhausen.
Totally agree.
That's the issue with it's a comedic thing, and there isn't a space for that no more. We're not got Doink the Clowns or.
I was about to say we moved away from the gimmick kind of thing, and now like as much as it's fun and we love it, we love Danhausen. He's my best mate.
Yeah.
Yes, you've got a free soup on him at some point.
It didn't work. Greg's didn't have it. As much as he's mint and we love it, he ain't gonna get over in WWE. That.
Yeah.
Maybe in TNA.
Okay.
Maybe in TNA.
Yeah, TNA.
Yeah,
TNA would be a good place,
place.
and you could with the partnership of NXT, you could work it like that. But yeah, Renee will resign. She's got John Moxley in AEW.
Yeah, that's Renee's wherever John does. If you're gonna do TNA and he works at NXT, put him with Ethan. Make this weird odd couple tag team.
Or bring
with Ethan.
R-Truth down with Danhausen.
Odd.
We've been saying it for ages.
There is a space.
There is a space.
We've been saying it for fucking ages. But yeah, Renee also re-signed because of John, and wherever John goes, she goes. It was it? Matt Menard and Angelo Parker. That was just it. I think that was staying.
They left WWE because there was nothing there for them as well.
I don't think there is though.
The big year is 2027. Is the big year because Kyle O'Reilly comes up, Adam Cole comes up, FTR come up, Okada comes up, Hangman, Hangman's John, Kenny, and the Bucks all come up in 2027.
Half of them will sign recontracts way before that.
So they were talking 2027. We've got 2 years before that rides out.
Yeah.
Unless things drastically change, you are literally just named the best friends of each other. They're all going to sign together. They've got a pat. 4 of them out of that list have got a pat. That one goes, they all go. And that's how they ended up at AEW.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know the wild one, right? And he's not been on AEW TV for fucking ages. Scorpio Sky's apparently signed until 2026.
Scott re-signed that long ago.
Yeah, but he's not been
last
on
year.
Yeah, I think working as an agent.
Yeah, and I think he's carrying one of these bad injuries that's holding him out.
Right, okay. That makes sense.
Because they were the Gentleman of the Year, was it, with Ethan Page?
Yeah.
And then it just disappeared because they had the top, the manager from
the guy from UFC. I can't think
as their manager. And Scorp got injured because it was pushing for Scorp to be the top guy with Ethan and him.
Yeah.
New Japan, what's
the
coming
New
up
Japan ones is Gabe Kidd, David Finlay,
AEW, David Finlay's WWE,
and Kevin Knight, who's already signed for AEW.
Signed for AEW.
The huge one,
as well, isn't it?
Yeah, TJP says he's going to cut TJP and what the fuck is his name? The Hawaiian fella.
You're the New Japan guy.
John, big lad, is a TV champion. Was done loads of stuff with Rev Pro. Jeff Cobb, there we go. And so we get there eventually.
Oh, WWE looking into Jeff Cobb.
Yeah. Jeff Cobb's an odd one because he's been back on a free agency list more than anything, and he's been back and forth for every company. It's
apparently WWE are in talks with him.
Thing with Jeff Cobb is, and I don't mind Jeff Cobb.
I don't know who he is.
If I showed you the picture, you would have seen him wrestle. He's done a couple of things in AEW when we streamed it. And when you look at him, you'll get what I'm about to say. We've got Jeff Cobb already in WWE.
Bronson Reed.
Oh, yeah, I know who he is. Yeah, it's Bronson Reed 2.0.
Yeah.
We don't. There's no space for him in the big men. We've already got big Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman.
And Jacob Fatu. Yeah.
Book these guys before you start looking at somebody else. Get them right. Big Bronson Reed's got to come back and have an absolute stellar year when he comes back.
Can't wait.
It's gonna be great.
I mean, even if he comes back and they realign him with the teamy bloodline for a bit, or works with Jacob, whatever. But Bronson earned a run from Survivor Series.
The biggest one for New Japan, and he's came out and made a few comments, is Naito. Naito's a huge person, but in AEW for NJPW, the one thing Naito has been saying is that everyone else of the old guys they get time to rest and recover the bodies. I don't. I am on every card. I say every tour that they do, Naito is on there. And I think Naito's body, as you can probably, we spoke about this, John. You can tell Naito's just getting tired. He's fucking running towards. If they don't chill out and protect him, he's currently sprinting towards retirement because he's going to get burned out.
I was going to say Naito's on the coming to the end of his career. If WWE couldn't do much with him because of the language barrier, and they don't know how to book Japanese wrestlers. AEW, he might get a couple of special matches out of him, but I don't think it's a contract. I think he'll do what Suzuki's doing. A couple of appearances here and there, independent shows, and work his own. It's unfortunately, I think Naito's one of them. Once he's left, too late to leave New Japan to try and make it elsewhere.
Yeah. He's got TNA running him.
Yeah, short stints, 3 months here, 3 months there, sort of thing. Nothing massive.
But it's just a bit wild him coming out and calling out NJ for overbooking him.
NJ's problem is their contracts now, because before AEW come along, them and ROH were keeping the independent guys busy on tours, but now they're not. I won't even put them in. They're probably fifth in line of their own companies.
Yeah.
And that's me putting NXT as its standalone company. I mean, you talk WWE, AEW, NXT, TNA, and then probably New Japan. New Japan is where the guys who can't get deals with the other four go. And it's sad.
Yeah.
Because he had some of the biggest stars. Some of the biggest stars in wrestling have wrestled for him, but they are struggling.
Yeah, they are.
And I think the struggle will be even bigger if they lose Gabe Kidd.
Finley.
Finley, I think Gabe Kidd's the one that they need to hold on to now.
Yeah. Just to be fair, War Dogs, they just need to keep hold of. Drill Maloney's mint. You've got Gabe, you've got Finley, you've got Clark Connors. They need to just keep that sort of team. They've just lost Sonada, but Sonada's a nothing person anyway. But yeah, I think that's where that's going. But yeah, it's going to be. They need to keep the one out of all them Gabes you want to keep, because he embodies that warrior spirit.
They need a top guy, Gene, that's something they've always had, and they haven't got anybody. But yeah. Well, that's contracts. Let's get into Dynasty. Let's round up Dynasty.
Wasn't great, was it?
It was all right. I enjoyed bits of it, and I was bored during other bits. I wonder. I'll start off with the 0 hour, and the only reason I'm talking about 0 hours is because there was a return in it. I've watched the return, and it genuinely gave me goosebumps. I was doing The Rock, smacking my arm, goosebumps. Owens returned.
Yeah, he did.
And it was goosebumping. Like, the crowd was so over for him. He's got some new theme music, which is, what's it called? Is it Jane? Undead Jane or something?
Yeah, I think it is.
Underground, banging bit of music, never heard it in my life till then. But yeah, Bowens is coming back. Now, for me, there's been talks of the savior of AEW, the good guy to take down Jon Moxley. Tony, I know you watch us. There's your guy. That's your guy. Build them up for the next few weeks. Get matches, put them on winning streaks, whatever. You want a good guy to take down Moxley, and the crowd will love him. That's your man.
Next few weeks?
The next few months. A couple of months or so. Bowens could catapult very quickly up that.
Yeah, massively. You just put him in the Owen Hart tournament. You have some shenanigan finish with Hangman as the wild card, where you have the Death Riders get involved, screw Hangman, and he goes through, and then the rest of that card he can run through.
Hey, have you watched it back yet?
Watch what back?
Have you seen his return, Bowens' return? Give it a watch. Honestly, that was like the pop was. I wouldn't say CM Punk coming back as Survivor Series, but for AEW, it was a really big pop. He was so over. He was so over.
But when you're struggling as it is, would you not put it on someone like Swerve to get it going and then face Anthony Bowens and build Anthony Bowens up a little bit more? Maybe him winning the TNT title. Beat Kenny Omega for the international. I think that'd be bigger. I think if you, I don't think going for Kenny. I think with Bowens, if you're going to run on the pop and what the over, if a couple of months to build him up, put a TNT maybe on him, but I think you run for him to be a top guy. And I said it a few weeks ago. It's gonna be a history-making top world champion, as the openly gay guy that's a world champion in a major wrestling company. Honestly, it was so over, and I was so happy to see him. I was genuinely, like I said, I watched it twice, and I got goosebumps each time. And that's it. It's Tony Khan, though. He'd probably now bury him back in ROH for 6 weeks and lose the mojo. Moxley keeps the fucking title. We kicked off the night with Will Ospreay Kevin Knight. I've seen the time, so I don't want us to dive right into each match. Thoughts on that match?
Great match.
It's a good match.
Kevin Knight looked good.
Good match, but
Could have been on Dynamite, though.
Yeah. And I think if you were going Kevin Knight and you wanted to give him a special match against Will Ospreay later in the tournament, like your opening night on Dynasty.
So this was a 10-card pay-per-view. That's before the pre-show. No, sorry. Yeah,
I think
before the pre-show.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of those matches could have been on Dynamite.
Definitely.
Yeah, we said this on Dynasty. We said it on the stream.
No, I know. About for people that didn't watch, I'm repeating it. Like, they could have been on Dynamite. There was no need for them, Matt. I did not need to see Will Ospreay and Kevin Knight on a pay-per-view. I did not need to see Bandido versus Chris Jericho with that shit ending that was. I did not need to see Mercedes Moné and Julia Hart.
No.
I didn't. And if I really want... Oh, sorry. 5 matches. Carl Fletcher and Mark Briscoe.
No.
What is that doing on a pay-per-view?
The Owen Hart tournament should be spread across Dynamite and Collision for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There's a 4-hour Dynamite coming, you know. They've announced a 4-hour Dynamite.
So this is their issue, and this is my issue with them. Like, they make these special Dynamites and like 4-hour ones and Dynamite Spring Breaker and stuff like that. It's all because they want to hold back and not having multiple pay-per-views every month. But then we get stints where we have fucking 3 pay-per-views in a matter of weeks of each other. Plus special. Just book fucking more pay-per-views. Do what Warner want you to do. Make more pay-per-views, because that's what's holding you back from your streaming service.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. I liked Kevin Knight. I really did. As much as the match shouldn't have been on pay-per-view, it's the first time I've ever seen Kevin Knight. I liked him. Thought he was good. Liked what he brought.
I called how good he was last year when I saw him at NJ when I went on my last trip. I said he was going to be great and he could end up somewhere big.
Was that on video?
I
Didn't say it.
I don't know.
No, I think I do remember him saying it to me though. I do remember him saying it to me.
Oh, I went on video, so it don't count. No, I'm joking.
Thank you, JB.
And then we had the Hurt Syndicate. The only reason they've got the tag titles is because they're ex-WWE guys. No one else can tell me otherwise. Against the Learning Tree of Big Bill and Brian Keith.
Yep.
Do you know what? Give
Why have you not got the
six matches. It could have been on Dynamite.
Yeah.
The only thing, so this match would have been better if we had a return to make a storyline with Hurt Business, Hurt Syndicate, a returning tag team, or this went after the FTR Cope stuff that we'll talk about in a moment, because then the FTR could have come out and stared them down, or Young Bucks returned at this point for this one.
That would have made more sense.
You know what I mean? This is fucking AEW booking the tag team division.
Yep, like the women's.
And then 17 belt Monet as AB.
Yeah, Mercedes Monet, Julia Hart.
Yep.
I will carry on saying it until she's back in WWE. She is not an AEW wrestler.
Mercedes Monet's been found out. Mercedes Monet is not as good as she was packaged in WWE.
Yep, agreed.
She's not. She came through with the 4 women. The 3 others are far better wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better in all dynamics than she is. There's nothing special about her. And
I swear that she's got in a contract she can't lose.
It's really getting to the point now where.
Speaking of, oh, sorry, mate, go on. Sorry.
They're hurting the women's division by letting her hold every fucking belt, because she's going to win this tournament.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's going to win this tournament, and she's taking Tony's belt off her.
Yep. Yeah, that's where it's going. Speaking of not losing, the only reason I didn't need to see a Will Ospreay match, because we know he's not losing. Going back to the Will Ospreay thing, we know Will doesn't lose on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, this is it.
And it's getting too repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
It's
absolutely.
I need to see Will to lose on pay-per-view or in a big major match for me to go, I care about Will Ospreay. Because at the moment, I like watching him, but I don't care about him.
No, and I think this is where his booking issues are coming in, because he's got his favourite wrestlers. Don't lose.
Yeah, of course he has.
And this is it. If whoever this wild card is, if the wild card, we meant to get excited about a wild card, but we're booking Will Ospreay to the final.
Yeah, we are. All day.
Will's going to be in that final.
Yep.
So it's whether it's Hangman or whoever the wild card is, I feel, on the other side myself.
Cedric Alexander. Death Riders against Rated FTR.
Do you know what? I enjoyed this match.
I quite enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the ending as well.
Brilliant. So for the people that didn't watch it and know why it's in, this was good. So Death Riders won. And Dax turned and power drived. The safest power drive I've ever seen. Well done, Dax.
Really was. Yeah.
Well done, Dax.
Beautiful. It was a beautiful power driver.
Power drive, Cope. And then there was a bit of to and fro with him and Wheeler. Wheeler didn't have a gun this week. Dax finally got chairs to do a concerto and give Wheeler. Wheeler took the chairs away and lifted Edge up for him to hit the big rig on him, or the shattered, what you call it now?
Shattered machine.
Shattered machine on it, and they both turned full heel, which is where FTR do their best work. So let's see what happens next. Give me FTR against Hurt Syndicate, and they take the titles. A long heel run by FTR is needed to save that tag division.
Yeah, it is.
Agreed.
Then we had the timeless Tony Storm versus Megan Bean. Did what it said on the tin. The timeless Tony Storm won. Pointless match. Kyle Fletcher and
I just want to say about Tony Storm though. I am absolutely loving Tony Storm.
Yeah.
The after press conference stuff was pretty funny. When she opened up press conference and said, "Whose car?" We've got a black and orange something with the license plates FTW, blocking the stage crew. Can you please move your car? It's just so random, and I really enjoy her at the moment. But yeah, next, so
Pointless match
Let's go.
number two.
Next.
Yeah.
Bandito, Chris Jericho.
Go.
Next.
It's fucking pointless. Like it was.
The
Do
ending,
you know what?
The ending was fucking shit.
Well, no,
I enjoyed
actually,
the
no,
match.
there's a big thing to come out of this match. VAR is now in wrestling.
Yeah. So you can now, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't watched this, you now, when you're in the crowd, you can tell the ref and come around and show them when the wrestler cheats after the results are called, and it gets restarted. The match was okay. I actually didn't think it was too bad of a match until then. That was fucking poor.
So on that match, apparently, like 10% of the arena left as soon as the Chris Jericho Bandito thing came on.
It's really good. I'll be honest, that would be where I would have been heading to the bar. I was there.
I would have gone to the
snacks.
bar about 5 times during this pay-per-view. That is just half.
That would have been hammered.
Half of this pay-per-view was pointless. It didn't do anything for anything.
Then next match, Adam Cole, baby, won the TNT Championship from Daniel Garcia.
The only thing that was right
really
about
good
this pay-per-view.
Really good match. It's I don't know what's happened to Garcia. Garcia at one point were but it just doesn't seem to hit the same at the minute.
Tony Khan's great at bringing people in that are young and giving them a platform. Once he gives them the platform, he's very shit at letting them go and not doing anything with them. Not just letting them go to companies. I just mean not doing anything with them.
I think as well, he gets himself all messed up of were these titles lying in the line of prestige for him. So for me, it's World Heavyweight for the men's. This is the World Heavyweight TNT. Then you got your tags, and then your Intercontinental and whatever the other one is, Continental, whatever. They're there. They push the wrong people in the prestigious side. Kenny Omega's on this Intercontinental thing. If you didn't want him on the main title, TNT's where he should be wrestling. With Daniel Garcia should be carrying the lower card.
Yeah.
And you Adam Cole's in the right place now. But now Adam Cole will probably be facing the likes of Daniel Garcia.
Beast Mortis.
Yeah. Gravity, Hologram.
And fucking all the mass wrestlers.
Yeah. Where he should be there now, like promos with him and Kenny, him and Okada, MJF, that sort of stuff. He needs to shuffle these fucking cards and get them sorted.
Yeah, he does.
But yeah, Adam Cole finally gets the title around his waist.
Yeah.
Should be the world title after All In. One in
Yeah,
London,
it should be.
But
Yeah.
we'll wait.
Sorry, mate. Kenny Omega defeated Ricochet and Mike Bailey. 31 minutes, and 15 minutes of it was false finishes.
It was a good match. Mine's the false finishes.
Yeah,
it was a good match
really
for
good
15 minutes.
20. I'll give 20.
I'll give it 20.
I was fucking bored after the 15-minute mark.
For me, I was saying this to Matt when he ran me yesterday, just to see if I was okay. There's something missing with Mike Bailey. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it.
So I said to Ted before you say anything, John. I said to Ted, AEW Tony Khan has not signed Mike Bailey to be a main eventer. He signed Mike Bailey to be the guy one of the guys that you can trust in the mid card.
Mm-hmm.
Not every signing that WWE or AEW make will be main event. Take Rey Fenix. Rey Fenix will probably never win the WWE title or the World Heavyweight title. Penta will. I feel like they'll probably put more into Penta than they will Rey.
Penta's got over so much.
Exactly. I don't think Rey will hit the heights of Penta. However, they're probably not bought Rey. They haven't brought Rey in to take the title. They brought Rey in to be the mid-card United States, facing the WWE title champion every now and again, trying to get that belt, but not working. That's what Speedball Mike Bailey is. He's there to sit in the TNT international title lane and be that prominent figure in there and know that you can put him in there with someone, and it'll be a banger of a match.
But this is, I was just saying, this is where it's not, the titles are not matching the people that he's putting in the brackets for him.
Yes.
So the three there, Kenny Omega, Ricochet, and Speedball Mike Bailey, they should be now in the TNT brackets with Adam Cole. Your Daniel Garcia, I'm trying to think who he faced recently. Your Orange Cassidy's, your
Buddy Matthews.
Your Buddy Matthews, so Big Brody Lee's another one. TNT.
Yeah.
Big Brody Lee should be TNT. If you're not putting the world title on him, Big Brody Lee's TNT.
This is my issue, and we spoke about it last week, and I know said you didn't have any really thoughts on it. The prestige of the titles.
Yeah.
You don't know what's what in AEW for mid card. You don't know what's where in WWE. You know it's the world titles. You've got the mid cards. You've got the tag team. You've got the women's. Then you got the women's mid cards. Then you got the women's tag teams. You know the order it goes in. With AEW, you don't know whether the TNT is more important than the international. You don't know the international is more important than the continental because the continental doesn't get fucking defended. You don't know whether
Saturday as well or Sunday.
You don't know the TBS is better than the women's world title. You don't know where it goes.
So if I'm going off in my head and in the prestige line for AEW, and I'm going off when they came in. So the AEW World Championship is it's the cream of the crop top title.
Yeah.
Then it was the TNT title.
Yeah.
And the tag team titles. And then the men's and the women's. So the AEW 2 titles. They're the top. They're the cream. Then it's your tag for the men's.
Yeah.
Then it was the TNT and then the TBS one.
Yeah.
So they're the next ones. So that's where you should stop. Just stop there. I know the trios one because a lot of the guys there come from ROH. Trios are really popular back in ROH. So trios one should probably fall in after them ones.
Yeah.
But then he's brought in into international championship.
Yeah.
And what's the one Okada's carrying?
Continental.
They're the same thing.
Yeah.
They're the same thing. It's not like it's the US and European. It's the same thing. And it just doesn't make sense. And then we've got the ROH stuff coming in below it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, Tony, cut the shit. I know he's putting them two together now. That's where that's heading. The continents on the continent.
But then where does that still line with the TNT?
So is he trying to make that, with it being around Kenny Omega and Okada's race, is he trying to make that more irrelevant than the TNT title?
I would, only because I said it on Dynasty, and I've always said it. I don't agree with a title being named after a TV station.
No,
I don't.
And this is what
This
is what I'm thinking. Is he trying to bring the TNT one going to be the one if he is going to phase one out because of television deals and stuff like that? TNT would be the one I would move out.
Yeah.
Because it's got a network tied to it.
It's got a network.
If they lose that deal with them and the TBS, got to rebrand them titles. Just take it out, combine the other two, make it an intercontinental.
Or
title.
television or something like that.
Yeah.
Or same with the women's with the TBS. Just name it a women's international championship or women's, whatever.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that they've got. This is why I don't take the mid card serious in AEW, is because it's a TNT title. Is it like why is it called a TNT? I know I get it why they did it originally. But why has he not gone, do you know what? I think we need to be a bit more prestige in this mid-card. The title just doesn't do it justice. Let's change the title name. Or bring the international and take out the TNT. Personally, I mean, obviously people are different. People like what they want. But I just, it does me in. And then Moxley and Swerve. So, apparently it was a street fight. I didn't know it was a fucking street fight. I thought it was a one-on-one.
It's not what it's got on thingy.
Yeah,
on Wiki now.
I know. And then I read on Twitter it got advertised as a street fight. But there was nothing
street fight that started out with wrestling rest holds.
Yep. Now, I know we don't go off other people. However, if you are a wrestling fan, that watches podcasts and asks like ourselves, thank you very much. Hit the subscribe button. There is another guy that is a prominent feature in the wrestling community with his views. I don't know whether you've heard of him, guys. He's called JD from New York. He's a very angry man who looks at WWE, AEW, TNA and everything, and he puts his views forward, and they're very strong views. He's had reactions from Tony Khan. He's had reactions from certain wrestlers in AEW about the matches and about pay-per-views and stuff. This is what he had to say about Dynasty. He said, "We waited 5 hours for one thing and one thing only to happen. They had one priority. Your priority, Tony, was to take the belt off Jon Moxley because the Death Riders are the death of AEW television on a week-to-week basis. Your AEW Championship, what you people claim is the greatest, laughably the greatest prize in this sport, hasn't been on TV since October. I'm going to miss out the fucking because there's a lot of fucking," he puts in. "I don't know how you can go out there and make a statement such as that and then be serious about it. No World Championship, no World Champion as far as I'm concerned on TV since October 2024. But you guys had one job to do, and it was to take the belt off Moxley, put it on Swerve, get the man into All In, have him walk in as the fucking crown jewel of this company and defend that title against Hangman Adam Page, which should have been the championship match in London last year. But you comically wanted to put the belt on Bryan Danielson, and you wanted some big celebration because you're a fucking mark. Because you don't know any better than the title. And then the title reign of that Danielson had one of the worst in company history, and it meant nothing because you took the belt off him to put it on this fucking hack. And what happened? Everything we saw at the end of the show, Dynasty, was irrelevant in every sense of the word. We haven't seen one person from the end of that show stand up to these clowns since October, and the storyline has killed AEW TV for 6 months now. You had us wait for 5 hours for the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, who I don't agree, this is JD's views, who are an absolute cancer to the TV ratings. You bring them back, and the last time we saw the Young Bucks on TV, they were getting into an SUV and riding away from the Death Riders because they were afraid of what they were doing to the show. And now they're back, they're helping the Death Riders retain the title. 5 hours, you wasted 5 hours of my life for that ending when you had one job to make the biggest show of the year, All In. And the main event feel like a main event for the first time in 12 months. This company has lost the plot. Their owner is a fucking hack who couldn't book himself out of a wet paper bag. This guy's an absolute kill in the company. He brought the Bucks back to kill the company. And AEW Dynasty was one of the worst shows in this company history. One of the most emotionless shows in the history of 5 years. Fuck AEW. If you're a sicko and you agree with anything this show provided for you tonight, you are a fucking reason why this company is in the shithole. Fuck this company, fuck Tony Khan, and fuck AEW.
So Jay, John, sent me a way of how they're gonna book, how they need to book themselves out of this, and it's the funniest thing I don't think Jay's ever sent me, and I believe it needs a platform, as to be said. So I'm gonna read you out Jay's way of fixing this. So hear me out. We have the Bucks, FTR, Perry to the Death Riders. We call them the Death Elite. You then have an AEW Ultras group, and you have a 15 versus 15 and a game of the arena match at All In. The losers break up. So they go fucking mental. I'm telling you, you have spiked 2x4s, real glass falls from the stands through barbed wire tables, and the finishing is a small package. Exploding super kicks, the ring explodes properly, making up for the Moxley and Kenny exploding ring match. Then, the end. The Death Elite are backstage, beaten and broken because they're lost. They're opening the backstage. They open the door backstage. Orange Cassidy is there. He hits Mox with an orange punch. His hands had explosives on it. He hits Mox so hard, we're all pushed into an alternative timeline where the Death Riders had never existed. Scene. So the Death Riders never existed, and we're just in an alternate timeline. That's how we're fixing it, and I'm in for that.
John?
Well, whoever that guy was, he can go suck a fat one. Not Jay, by the way. The guy you read from Matt. He can go suck a fat one. That there is for me. That's my epitome of somebody that it's not gone the way he wanted to go. So I'll throw my toys out the pram. Yes, I said it last few weeks. The Death Riders is dying to death, and Mox does need to lose that title. The title needs to come back on TV. Swerve could have potentially been the man. Yeah, absolutely. Swerve could do it and do the job. I'd like a new face on it, but it's just my opinion. I just want something fresh to have it, or hangers. I really want hangers. I like the Young Bucks coming back. Fuck it. I'm going to shout from that. And if you want to go back and watch the live stream, I popped. I asked the boys, because they were a few minutes ahead of me, not to say who it was, so I could get, it wasn't surprised. And I popped, because they're my boys. They're my boys. They're the reason I watch this company. And I have done. And I like the idea that they attack the man that's going around telling everybody that it's his house. It's not his house, it's their house. But I still would have had him pin Mox to win the title, then they attacked him.
Yeah, I agree with.
That's my only issue, is that it's like you're aligning. They're not aligning, but they're sort of aligning the books with the Death Riders. Please don't. Please fucking don't. Really don't. I'll be honest, I was hoping we'll get a face return from the Young Bucks, and they're the ones that will kill the Death Riders off, to remind the Death Riders that they're in control. They're the bosses of the program. That's where I book it. You book the Kenny Omega's getting beat down from whoever you want to put in that fucking whatever, and the Bucks come back and save Kenny. And we've got a storyline where they're trying to make up to Kenny for everything they did to him. And it's the long storyline is, Kenny, we need to take our show back, the Death Riders.
Yeah.
But we can't do it without you.
Yeah.
And they're winning Kenny back over. They get Kenny back. And then, because there's more of the Death Riders, it's hangers then. Look, hangers, we need you too. We're still outnumbered when we got you, but when we're a group, there's nobody better than us. And that's how you book the end of the Death Riders. The Elite take them down. And if you watch it, you can throw in Brian, if he's got one match in him, help them to level the numbers for the pop or cope to get the pop for that fifth member. You know what I mean?
The end of the Death Riders should have come when they had the whole Team AEW thing. What is the point of putting a Team AEW against the Death Riders together? Oh no, that was against the Elite, wasn't it?
So the Team AEW stuff was there was that thing with Orange Cassidy's the leader and Darby Allin.
Yeah, no, I thought I was
tell you
right
what the
with
issue with that is. It's unbelievable that Orange Cassidy is.
No, I totally agree. It's
Where is he?
unbelievable. He's injured.
As far away TV as possible, trying to think of a new gimmick.
He's injured.
Good. And that's me saying that, not Matt. You heard that from me. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm bored of him. I'm done with him.
Mm-hmm.
Best thing he's done in recent months is come out with the recently last pay-per-view.
When you put a team to face your biggest threat in your company, that's it. You've done everything else you've tried to do to try and get this group away from your company. Look at Nexus.
Yep.
I know it was booked poorly and Wade Barrett should have won the WWE title. But to get the WWE back under control, they had to put Team WWE together, which consisted of people hating each other with Edge and Jericho and Cena. They even brought Bret Hart out of retirement for some reason. To face the Nexus.
It's that pop of it.
No, I know. And I think
whatever.
Bret wanted one more match to prove that he was fine. And that was the end of the Nexus. Invasion. Team WWE versus Team Alliance. No, the Invasion was shit. But the whole point was to get the control of WWE.
Yeah.
That's where the Death Riders should have done. If they were going for Team AEW versus Death Riders, that's what it should have been done. There was no need to drag it out for 6 months. We haven't seen... I agree with him with some parts of this, by the way. We haven't seen the World Championship on TV.
I don't think it's in that briefcase.
That's my biggest issue with the Death Riders. That is my biggest issue. I didn't like it when Orange Cassidy put the belt in the backpack either. That's my issue. Because the champion should be hiding the gold. The champion should be proud to wear that around the waist.
Yeah, exactly.
And you did say that with Orange Cassidy. You did say that.
No matter where you like, if it doesn't matter what company, if the person's not parading that they might as well just drag it behind them and not give a shit about it.
Yeah,
because that's what it says to me. The champion doesn't care about that. Well, and I get Mox is trying to make a point of that he's more valuable. He has full control of what people are seeing and stuff like that. Because he turned off shit show. What was it called? What was the third show called now?
Fuck.
Rampage.
Yeah. He shut Rampage down, and that was the control thing. I get it. The Team AEW thing, mate, with me is the Team AEW is the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Adam Hangman Page, and I would have said Cody Rhodes if he was still there. That's Team AEW.
Yeah,
that is Team A who made AEW.
So I would have that. So that because he's not there, I'd probably put you've either seen Darby Allin or thingy for me or Swerve.
Write this man off TV for a little while, and he's not really favoured at the moment. Write him off his TV right now. Bring him back as a face, align him with them four, because he is the megastar that made AEW and put eyes on it. Chris Jericho. You align Chris Jericho because it was the Elite and Chris Jericho that made AEW relevant in that press conference. And that's what you ring back to.
Yeah.
That's your Team AEW.
The Young Bucks coming back in the main event I get the Swerve bit. If that's the route they're going down, and that's what I said on Dynasty, that'll be the story. I get it. But your tag division's dying a slow, painful fucking death. You've put the tag titles on two ex-WWE guys.
Yeah.
Who... One's a good wrestler and one's alright. One's a very good wrestler, Shelton Benjamin. The other one is alright.
But we can have a bit of a break.
There's a missed opportunity to take the title off Mox. It was a missed opportunity. There was no way that pay-per-view should have ended the way it did. And I know you want the Bucks come back. The Bucks could have come back all you want, and no issues with that.
I've just said the alternate timeline. I still said that Swerve could have won that title.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm agreeing with you with. That's what I'm agreeing with you with. But I wouldn't have the Young Bucks come back there. That's what I've just said to Ted. Your tag division's dying a slow, painful death. You've got the Revival in a fucking trios for some reason, where it's the best tag team in the world in a trios. So if you really want to save your tag division, bring the Young Bucks back, take the tag belts, and start getting AEW taking over from the Death Riders. Slowly, Kenny Omega or Gangman Adam Page takes the world title.
The perfect way to return them as faces is to come back face the Hurt Syndicate as a face group.
That was it.
They do storylines with FTR as well as heels.
I just feel like it was a waste of 5 hours. It was. There was the only thing that came good out of that pay-per-view. The only good that came out of the pay-per-view was Adam Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Owen Hart tournament, no need to have it on pay-per-view. Bandito, Chris Jericho, we could have had it on fucking Collision. Tony Storm and Megan Bayne, no need for it on pay-per-view because no one knew who the fuck she was. Kenny Omega, that was probably the only other relevant match, to be fair, because it had Kenny in it. And then the main event where you had the opportunity to do what you should have done. But do you know what? They're in a mess. They're probably going to pull themselves out of it. They've got All In. They need to do something big now, up to Double or Nothing. They've got, a month? They've got a month till Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
All In's the big one.
I know, but the next pay-per-view is Double or Nothing, so they need to do something big to try and save from this disaster.
Yeah. So I won't argue. Dynasty it was terrible, but we haven't did we work it out 3 dynasties a year, or in the last 12 months, not calendar year, but 18 months, whatever it was. Dynasty felt like a shit. I need to put a pay-per-view in place quick.
Yeah.
But we didn't.
Considering
We had one
WrestleMania
goal,
as well in 2 weeks from it, you would have thought they would have gone and thought, right, we need a fucking banger of a pay-per-view. Let's do what we know best. Because I've said it on numerous times, pay-per-views bang for AEW normally. I have no issues with pay-per-views. Bar a few matches where I think I didn't really need that on pay-per-view. They bang. That was the opportunity then to go put the eyes on us, even though WrestleMania's coming and people are going to watch WrestleMania. We need them to tune into after WrestleMania to us. That was the perfect opportunity, and I just feel like you fucking missed it totally.
The only positive I can take from Dynasty, and it's a very small positive, is they put things in line to create storyline. Now, to potentially create storylines going forward for the pay-per-views. So Adam Cole went into TNT, so he can take that to the next level. Kenny and Okada had their face-to-face. The Bucks have come back and did the swerve. FTR and Cope did that thing. So there's potential there for storylines to build, move on for the next pay-per-view. But for me, the next pay-per-view has to slap to make up for this one.
Totally agree.
It can't flounder. It can't be an all right. It has to be. Is the next one all in April?
Yeah.
Double or nothing.
Yeah, double or nothing. Yeah.
Double or nothing in May.
So they've changed the way around that goes now.
Double or nothing was always was after Backlash last year.
So, yeah, but the way it plays out is it starts with All In, then it was Double or Nothing because that was the second pay per view that they did like before they made AEW sort of thing. That was the first AEW pay per view was Double or Nothing, as in like because they went all in and they felt like they won, and then they were going in Double or Nothing. So they've changed it around. Then if it all in's Double or Nothing.
Yeah, they did
before,
that last year. They changed it last year.
Which never mind, but that's something. That's just a little. That's like OTC, not OTC, OCD for me for pay per views because that's traditionally how it started. But never mind. But yeah, whatever one's next has to slap. All In has to absolutely bang. Double or Nothing's got to slap. All In's got to give me the same vibes it's given me for the last 2 years. Because then I'll take away the fact that I was there. But All In, it's got to be. It's not going to be WrestleMania, but it's got to be as close as it can to WrestleMania.
Yeah, it does.
And if they don't, then they're going off. They're losing what the magic they did have in their pay-per-views.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, obviously we're gonna wrap it up there. It's been an hour and 45. We apologise for how long this has been. We do chat a lot. We know we do. However, there was a pay-per-view on Sunday, so we had to talk about it. As you guys well know, we are wrestling fellas everywhere. It's so much easier doing that now. We are live for We got NXT tonight. There'll be no SmackDown. I'm sorry, I just can't do that. However, next week,
Is it that bad,
mate, it's Joe. It's just Joe.
I
The
don't watch
commentary
him
was so
sound
much
on.
better. Mate, CM Punk came out last week, and he's just like CM Punk in Chicago, and I'm like, fucking put some effort in. Do you know what I mean? I know
His
it's CM
exact
Punk.
lines was, "I've took my headset off to experience the CM Punk."
He took his headset off. So he didn't have to wait for you fucking self.
The CM Punk live reaction to a Chicago crowd.
Yeah. WrestleMania next week, so that means we are live every single day. Thanks to yours truly, we are live on Monday for Raw with me and John. Then we have NXT on Tuesday. Wednesday, John didn't know about that, but it is Monday, and he normally does Raw. I'm just joining him.
Yeah, I knew it was on Raw this week.
NXT Tuesday. Wednesday, I'll be live during the day to do some 2K stuff. Thursday, I'll be live on the Discord because some people have asked me to do a Discord watch along with a WrestleMania. That's only if people actually show up. If not, then fuck it off. Friday, I won't be live till 12:45 Saturday morning UK time because we have SmackDown. Slowly followed by Hall of Fame. Going to bed. Waking up for NXT Stand and Deliver. And then going over to John's to watch WrestleMania Night 1.
Stand and Deliver. You won't be alone. I am making my NXT debut.
Oh, he's popping his cherry.
I am making my NXT debut.
You're not here. And he's making his NXT debut.
So NXT, I think NXT want to be really good to watch if you want to watch someone who doesn't watch the product giving a natural, pure reaction to what's happening. Because I know the names, but I don't know the storylines. I don't know nothing. So I will. You're going to get an honest opinion from me because I'm not sucked into it. So be a good one to watch. And then WrestleMania Saturday, we'll be together, and Ted by video link if we let him in. Ted, I need you to cut me a promo video doing a Bray Wyatt. Let me in. Yes, and then Sunday.
And then Raw after Mania. Again. NXT.
Raw after Mania.
And then I'll be on for SmackDown the week after.
I will do.
And then I am having a week off lives. I'm having my week off yet.
I'm going to Aldi soon, so I'm fine because I'll be away for 2 weeks. So
that's cool. My week off. But yeah, we've got Wrestling Fans Awards coming up very soon. 3 weeks now, because we've got to wait for Ted to get back. What else have we got coming up? Top 5s, 2K. Geo Mode will be out Friday. I've realised I can do some stuff on it, and I really want to get it perfect because it's gonna game changer. Well, it's not. It's just extra scenes I can do, and I've just noticed I can do it. So I want to do that. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Top 5. WrestleMania quiz next week. We're also going to go through WrestleMania cards to see if we got them right and where we went wrong. I've got a feeling we're all pretty wrong with them all. But yeah, no, that's everything that's coming out.
Absolutely. Go and hit all the videos up, likes, views. Let's get everything up.
Share
2K stuff,
the videos.
Do everything. But Echo Matt says we are wrestling fellas, and we are wrestling fellas everywhere. Get in the Discord. If you want Discord stuff with Matt, there's got to be people in there to watch it. Or it's absolutely pointless. Matt sitting there on his own. He might as well just chill in his pants again on his own. But yeah,
you make that weird.
I'm good at things like that. That's what I'm here for.
That's what we're playing for, in all honesty.
Well, that's what we want.
That's what we're employing for.
You're the employee.
You're the employee. This is 50-50 ownership.
No, we are. Someone did say it on the live the other day. We are currently the greatest trio in pro wrestling right now. And I am stealing that. That's what we are gonna call ourselves each week. I think it was, yeah.
Yes, Carl.
That will become part of our weekly introduction now, actually. I might drop the main event and introduce us the greatest trio in pro wrestling right now.
If the belts were so much, I'd get the trios title.
No, it's doing the normal. I was going to say, go give us a follow on all these things around my head. As were the wrestling fellas. As always, remember to tell someone you love them, and everyone, peace out. And you.
Oh yeah, Ted. We will see you in 2 weeks' time. 3 weeks' time.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah, what the fuck he said.